Sophisticated empathy, a concept that I spend time with these men that I work with who have betrayed their spouses and partners. I spend that time to help them build that, and it takes time. All of us are capable of, on some level, empathizing with what somebody else is going through, getting it, understanding it, intellectually and somewhat emotionally. But a sophisticated empathy is more than that, especially if we've caused harm or damage to someone else, our spouse, our loved one, our partner. It's incumbent upon us to be able to feel what they're feeling and to care deeply about what they're going through. But what tends to get in the way of that, particularly for the guys that I work with, is shame. They feel a lot of shame. They feel horrible about themselves. They feel bad about getting caught. They feel fear about what they stand to lose. They're afraid of their reputation. There's a lot of the self-focus, especially in the early stages. And though understandable and common, it's clearly a distraction from the work that they also need to be doing towards the betrayed partner, the hurt individual that they've betrayed. And unfortunately, when they dip into shame, it's because they're dealing with a low level of self-confidence, self-esteem. And in that depleted or lack of self-esteem and self-focus, there's not space for genuine, deep, sophisticated empathy that the betrayed partner really needs to experience from the one who's harmed them in order to get a sense of whether this relationship can ever be safe again, if it even has the legs, the possibility of that. And so what ends up happening is the guys will take what she says, her tone, her tenor, her words so literally, so personally, and they get distracted by that when she's trying to communicate in her overwhelmed and understandably overwhelmed state. And it doesn't always come out perfect or polished or wonderful. And I don't know many people that can do that when they're overwhelmed and when they're hurting, men or women. And so in this place, it's important for us as wanting to understand the person that we betrayed to be interpreting them with the most benevolent interpretation that we can, that they are genuinely trying to communicate to us that they are hurting and that you've hurt me in a certain way and I need you to get this. Because if this relationship has a chance to work, I need to believe that you truly understand what I'm going through and that you aren't going to do this again, that you're not going to put me in a situation to hurt like this again. And if I don't perceive that, if I'm the betrayer and I don't perceive that she's trying to communicate that in a deeply honest and authentic way, regardless of the way it's coming out, then I'm going to get in a more defensive posture. I'm going to be in a blaming or protective state rather than a caring, compassionate, a patient place. And that's the sophisticated empathy piece. It's deep work, it's hard work, but it's essential work for the individual who's harmed, but also for the person that they've harmed, so that there's a place for healing. And even if the relationship doesn't come back to intimate connection with one another, it's still my opportunity and responsibility to show that sophisticated empathy because I did do the harm. And to whatever degree I can help them heal, that's on me.